What's going on, Pokemon crew? I am Michael. This is my brother Ariel. We are doing, well, slow it down. We are doing a little bit of a restock day. Our cases are a little empty, so priced a bunch of cards yesterday and going to fill in some gaps.
We do try and keep things organized. So, like this case where I'm at here is a lot of illustration rares and special illustration rares from Mega Evolution and Scarlet Violet block. We got a case there that's more.
I can show it too.
You can show it. Okay, that's more. Whatchamacallit? The like
looking for words. Looking for words.
Sorry, I had to start my camera because the cards were going to show people when we're putting things out. More like the promo cards, some Master Ball cards, EX cards like people would use for decks, A-Spec, that kind of thing. And then we move on to the other eras, Sword and Shield, a little bit older. And then we've got our entire Japanese section over there. Those two cases are all Japanese. And then, of course, our vintage cases, which I try and keep organized by set. So that if you ask me, like, I'm looking for this card from the original Team Rocket set, I know exactly what case to look for it in. So I'm not, like, searching 3 or 4 cases. So try and keep things organized as we put them out. Makes it a little bit easier for the customers.
So these are both vintage cases here. Then kind of like mid-era in this middle case here on this side.
Which, the mid-era stuff, while supposedly people say it's not as popular, I can't keep that case stocked. It all sells really quickly.
Who says that?
In people in general on the internet.
Oh.
Source, right. I should cite a source, right?
What's your source? We need to run the vacuum over here today, too.
Yeah. Speaking of sources, guess we need to mention we're not sponsored by anybody yet. Still working on that law firm, though. All right. Some other things that have come up in Pokemon this week while we get some of this sorted is the...
How'd you organize this? So this is like the Sword and Shield stuff?
That's the Sword and Shield stuff, which you can split that between the case. These are all the Charizards. We put out that case together in Pikachus, if you wanted to do that, but just leave them for right now.
Okay.
This is like the cards that are like full art cards or trainer box promos, that kind of stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. And trying to make sure that if we have doubles of the same card, that we stack them together so that we don't lose them, or we don't have the same card in three different spots.
That was an issue at the start until you organized the cases.
Well, it's still an issue with some of our help here, but a lot of
you could probably just speed this part up.
You probably could, but we'll keep the audio.
That's Obsidian Flames there, brother.
Yeah, that's a full art card.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what goes in that case there.
You said that case. I was splitting them up.
That case there. Are the full arts, not the illustration rares or special illustration rares. You know what I mean? So, like, the full arts would be obviously the Pidgey, the Pidgeotto, and I'm sure I have Pidgeot down there at the bottom of the stack.
That's a good Venusaur.
That is a cool one. That one there. But the other thing I've been trying to do is look on the list for stuff that's maybe a little bit older and maybe doesn't sell quite as fast, just so we can kind of keep our shelves stocked. So last week I picked up the Mabosstiff EX box, which has 4 packs in it. Box from a couple years back. Looks like it's some Paradox, Scarlet Violet base, Obsidian Flames, and another Paradox. And then the Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant EX boxes with their respective, now out of rotation because they're all G cards, promos in them. That has, I think it's 2 Paradox Rift, looks like, 1 Obsidian Flames, and I think, 1 Paldea Evolved back there. So that's why those cost me a little bit more. I do have some of those up on the website right now. And then, speaking of the website, sometimes things, and actually a lot of times things, sell faster in store than on the website for us, especially the back catalog stuff. So I had to take these off the website because we sold out of them here down in the store. These 2024 lunchbox things that have like 6 packs in them. But these are all stuff that might sell a little bit slower, but it's nice to keep the shelves stocked so you don't look quite as empty. We are fortunate that our distributor does have stuff to buy. It's just sometimes you got to pay. Well, you're paying close to market or right at market, depending on the item. So but that's just the way it is and the way it has been. But at least we have stuff to buy and to keep the shelves stocked.
We still have a promo section, right?
The promo section,
Right to the left there.
if there's Sword and
Right.
Shield promos, yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, you're doing it right.
Thanks.
The other thing is, we haven't heard any people around here saying it, but apparently in other parts of the country, people have been showing that some stores are getting rid of the Pokemon vending machines because of the problems they've been created. I have not seen any of that around here, though. We're in Cincinnati, Ohio, so any Pokemon vending machines around here would be in Kroger. Funny that on the video that I saw of it, they did mention the some of the in-store security guards always hitting it up, and that has been a problem at our local one, from what people tell me. So, kind of interesting that they had to mention that. I don't know. I mean, the vending machines were a good idea, except
you're always going to have people that take advantage of it.
You're always going to have, if there's an avenue where somebody can get a $27 box that's worth $100 or more, if they happen to get like a 151 booster bundle, someone's going to try to find a way to gimmick it, take advantage of it. That's just human nature. You're not going to change that.
Have their grandma sitting there in a lawn chair pressing refresh on the machine.
That's right. I saw that one. But I mean, you can't do anything about that, and it's a shame because some people were actually able to get some decent hits from there. But it's just, we can't have nice things. That's why we can't have nice things. Did you hear about what?
Go ahead.
No, about GameStop attempting to buy eBay.
Yeah, I did see that.
I foresee nothing but good things for the entire hobby if that happens. Nothing but good things. No, sorry,
that'd be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
GameStop was like dead in the water a few years ago. And then some bros helped them out.
GameStop has a lot of they estimate $9 billion cash on hand. I looked that up on Google. If you want to source, just type into Google cash on hand GameStop.
Anything else for this case? But
most of that is from when those all go in there, is when the investor bros decided to rescue GameStop from short sellers and in the stock market, and drove the price way up, and GameStop issued new stock and made a lot of money and held on to that money. And they're burning through a lot of cash right now because they're trying to redo some of their stores, and they even came out with a GameStop Retro where they're going to try to make a lot of their stores to have older systems like Wii's and Nintendo 64s, that kind of thing. So they're trying, but I don't know how they think they're going to buy eBay. They made, I don't know the world of higher finance on Wall Street, so anything's possible. But just remember that next time that a company goes to be short sold because it's not a very good company, is probably going to go out of business. Maybe you shouldn't rescue them for nostalgia purposes, because it's going to come back to bite you some way, and it kind of has. So, but people are free to do with their money what they want. A lot of people lost money because they were still buying when the price was going up and crashed. Great card. I remember when we had these cards, these Ninetales, for next to nothing. They were like under $10 card at one point.
On that one, make sure you're pulling the cards back to the edge of the glass on the back so people can see the middle level without having to bend down.
I see. Another great card from City in Flames, Gloom. That used to be a $4 or $5 card. I always forget about this one. Sizer. Obsidian Flames. And, of course, great card from City in Flames, the Cleffa. Awesome.
A lot of the Master Balls, like the common ones, are starting to go up in price.
From what set?
All the sets that came out with Master Balls.
So like Black Bolt, White Flare, yeah. Prismatic. Okay. Let's see where we're going to put these guys out. Oh, forgot to mention, Chaos Rising. We are not going to have the release on that Saturday of Memorial Day weekend because we're closed that day. So we'll hold that till the next weekend, which is the last Saturday in May. We'll do our regular release then of ETBs. Supposed to have a case of booster bundles, probably some 3-pack blisters. Last time they didn't get us the check lane blisters on time, so hopefully we'll get those on time so we can sell some of those that day. But we'll see. Sorry, you were going to say something earlier. What were you going to mention?
I forget now.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. And then we also...
have you gotten any updates on our tag order?
Still in image processing. But they sent out that letter that we talked about, so that's going to be the way it is. But at least they've stopped taking cards at the lower tiers to kind of alleviate the pressure so they can catch up. Unlike some other companies who just continue to take cards in. Yeah, you'll get them when you get them.
I'm going to run out of space in this case here.
Okay.
Probably move them to that middle section there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I imagine
I should have had a pile there of like more expensive cards, because if we need to condense those Pikachus, we can.
We can. We had... Yeah, we will. It's okay. Oh.
Putting out a lot of good promo cards.
Actually, here's a promo card. King Gambit promo card. I think that was from a Shrouded Fable box.
A set that sat around for a while here.
Yeah, a little bit.
In popularity.
A little bit, but we at least, I mean, of course, we didn't do anything about it. We knew that the Kingdra and the Greninja promos were going to be the big ones, but we didn't do anything about it. Should have. Hindsight always being 2020.
Right. I think there were a few Pikachus that I priced. They can go in the...
There's a little stack of Pikachus there. Yesterday was, I mean, I wouldn't say it was our biggest purchase of Pokemon cards ever, because we've bought some big collections before. But I'd say as far as number of people selling to us, I think that was our biggest day ever as far as people coming in to sell.
Yeah, it was another slam day.
Yeah.
For a random Tuesday.
Do you have anything you'd like to add, Amazing Larry?
No, not this morning. I haven't had coffee yet. Enough coffee.
He hasn't had his coffee yet. Those are all trainers and other ones that go in that case. Oh, need to point out. Slowpoke, great card. Was $4 to $5 for the longest time. Scarlet Violet base, which is a set that, while no big hitters compared to like some of the sets that are obviously out now, you know, cards worth 900 to well over 1,000, but a lot of like $20 to $40 cards in that set now, as it's obviously out of print and no calls for any reprints out there. Got a lot of Rotoms. Got a lot of those.
Do we still have a lot of Piplups?
No, somebody's been clearing us out of Piplups.
That was like a constant, like every day.
Which is, it's a cool card, but I guess if you have one, you don't, I mean, if it's a much easier pool, but that's one that down the road probably will be expensive.
And the Charmander promo being $70.
Cheezel. Those were $4 to $5 for the longest time. Hey, remember when Obsidian Flames trainer boxes were cheap?
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm
fun.
remembers.
Ow. Ah. That was fun. You could open stuff every night.
Yeah.
Not feel bad about it.
We could have bought cases of those for $200 a case because we were getting them at $20 a box.
Yeah.
we were just starting out, didn't know any better. But who could have predicted that? Like, anybody who says they predicted that this was going to happen, this crazy, like, no idea.
Somebody did.
So, I'm sure somebody did. I'm sure there's at least one person who did, but probably not as many people are now predicting the fall to zero that's supposed to be coming at some point.
Where are these going?
Those can go in that case there. Those are all Chizards.
You need the pricing gun for those items?
I will. And for a couple other things.
Okay.
I just need to make sure I didn't put doubles out. I know I've got these two cards down there somewhere. The Helioptile and the Garganackle. It's just hard to see the middle shelf sometimes when you're back here. I'm sure we have some more cards available that we can fill in whatever gaps are left. Not many. That's okay. We were looking a little thin.
Next, we need to do some common, like, vintage stuff.
Yeah, we do. If we got any mid-era stuff. Thank you. I'm over here in our trainer case where we keep all of our full art and SIR trainers, in English at least. Oh, I know I've got this one.
The Dawn?
The Dawn SIR.
I sold one. Nope. There's right in the back there.
I see it. Move it up to the front.
So trainer case, illustration,
Oh,
playable stuff and promos, and some Master Balls mixed in there. Sword and Shield stuff.
well, I think we made short work of that.
Mid-era stuff. Or no, that's on the other side. Pikachu section, Charizard section, bigger SIRs up top.
Other things to fill in the gaps we didn't have room for.
We have a bunch of the Chinese Master Balls. Maybe they're probably in a bad spot down there.
But we got to have room to put. You got to use the bottom shelf, but yeah, it is kind of a bad spot as far as display goes.
Okay, we good?
I think we're good. Thanks, Poke Crew.
See you guys.
See you.